So, according to the Centers of Disease Control, around 2.8 antibiotic resistant infections occur each year in the US, and roughly around 35,000 people die as a result of this. This is a pretty mass problem, as untreated bacterial infections can lead to both sepsis and death. And we can bring down this number by informing people about why we can't take antibiotics against viral infections. Any sore throat, you don't need to run to an urgent care and get an antibiotic. And we can inform you on safe ways to take antibiotics as well, so you can prevent complications. So in order to first understand why we can't use it against viruses, you need to understand the difference between an actual bacterial cell and a virus. So a virus is essentially DNA and RNA wrapped in this big protein coating right here. It's not the same as a bacterial cell wall, and it has these little receptors it uses. It's not considered living because it has to use other living organisms to procreate, and it doesn't have cellular structure that biology says makes something living. And over here you have an example of a bacterial cell, which has this thick cell wall. It has cytoplasm, and it has this DNA in the middle. And it's considered a prokaryote, which is a living organism, and it's single-celled. And antibiotics will directly attack just living organisms and bacteria. It is very specific to the structure of bacteria. Right now in this video, you can see an example of what it does to a bacterial cell wall. This is known as bactericidal antibiotics. What you can see right here is it disappearing and exploding. This isn't losing fluid because it's attacking the cell wall. Viruses don't have this cell wall, so it won't explode into fluid, and it just won't do anything against it. So we need to talk about how to safely take antibiotics as well. So you should never be buying antibiotics or any other prescription drug for the matter online. Antibiotics should only come from a medical provider, a doctor, an APRN, etc. And the pharmacy will always include a schedule for how you should take your antibiotics, and they'll include any special instructions, such as taking, an antibiotic with a full glass of water or on food, etc. And you should follow whatever schedule they give you to a T. Missed doses lead to antibiotic resistance because it essentially teaches bacteria how to resist the antibiotic. Because bacteria sexually breeds, and this means that it can teach its offspring how to deflect against certain bacteria. So you want to make sure you're taking it on food as well. Here's some examples of really good probiotic-rich foods. You can buy probiotics over the counter if you want to. Milk is wonderful to take with it if you can't get down food, if you're taking morning doses. Yogurt is. Fermented foods also have a lot of rich bacteria that can help your gut, because antibiotics will attack everything in the gut, and it will destroy healthy bacteria that your stomach needs to process food. All right, and to wrap up this speech, I'm going to talk about the first man to ever invent an antibiotic. His name was Alexander Fleming. He invented what we now know as penicillin, and it was purely by accident. He had gone on vacation and left his experiments. He had experimented in this garage, essentially, and he had petri dishes of bacteria that had accidentally got contaminated by mold, and that mold had overrode the petri dishes and killed all the bacteria, and it gave him the idea to try to use mold as a medication. Thank you.